Okay. So we're going to begin our trip by meeting at the Charlotte Douglas International Airport at about 9 a.m. and depart at 11 a.m. and catch our flight. And we're going to travel from there onto the Fairmont Tremblant Hotel. And once we arrive, we're going to have breakfast at about 8 a.m. Trip orientation to go over all essential information at 10 a.m. Little lunch break from 12 to 1. And from 2 to 6, attend a guide snowshoe tour of Mount Tremblant to give students the opportunity to see the mountain and learn many of the trails and weather systems and ecosystems that are on Mount Tremblant. And then coming back, we'll have dinner around 7 p.m. Then start the next day at about 8 o'clock with breakfast and attend another debriefing and group meeting at 10 a.m. Have another lunch break from 12 to 1, fuel up, and then go skiing and snowboarding at the resort there from 2 to 6 p.m. Once we're done with that, come back, fuel up, eat dinner at 7 p.m., and allow students to sleep and pack for the next day, going to bed early. Then from there, we'll be traveling to Anton Mountain in Ottawa, Canada. So once we fly over there, we're going to have breakfast there at 8 a.m. We check in. We're going to attend an information session about the mountain and climate from 10 to 12. Just going over the local area and discussing with some officials as well. We're going to have lunch from 1 to 2 p.m. And free time for students that will be essential from 3 to 6 for them to unwind and clear their head. And dinner from 6 to 7, and then a little night ski and snowboard session from 7 to 11 p.m. and collect data, compare and contrast the day and night conditions that we find around that area. Next day at Anton Mountain, another breakfast at 8 a.m. Meet to talk about plans and departure about 9:30. Arrive at the Welcome Center, begin sightseeing. First place we're going to explore is 401st St. Maudle Island Conservation Area. Once we do that, we're going to have a little lunch break from 12 to 1, then have some free time in between that, and from 1 to 7, and then at 7 o'clock we'll have dinner again, pack up and get on a flight to Mount Hennessy at 9 o'clock. So once we travel over to Mount Hennessy, a mountain range, we're flying into the airport there, and travel over to Mount Hennessy, and arrive about 1 a.m. and have breakfast at 8 a.m. 10 o'clock we'll have an equipment check and trip overview. And once we do that, make sure our equipment works. 10 to 3, hike the north face of the mountain, so summit the mountain. We're collecting data the whole hike. 3:15, collect wind and weather measurements when we get to the top. 4 o'clock, eat a meal, and then head down. By 7 o'clock, reach base camp and eat dinner in camp. And next morning, wake up at 8 a.m., gather data and process it and go over what exactly we collected. 11 to 7, discuss the findings and recap the trip as a whole. And then we'll have dinner at 7. And then we'll check out, have breakfast at 8 a.m., and then depart at 9 a.m. from the airport, the local airport, and go back to Charlotte and arrive at Charlotte Douglas International Airport around 12 p.m.